So day 0, I guess, I just planted in this bed. Right here I planted some of the wheat, and then I covered it with raised bed soil. I'd used a little bit of soil over here from one of the beds down there, just because I didn't quite have enough to cover it all the way. So I gave it some water, and looking forward to see what'll happen with that. This in-ground bed that I'm also going to be planting wheat in. This soil's not quite as, it's more like kind of clayish. So we'll see how the wheat does in that. Day number 4, you can see some little wheat popping up right there. See some grasses poking up. There's these ones over here that I didn't plant very well, but there's some of them still sprouted. Looks like they were the ones that were buried a little better. So yeah, day number 4, I still have it planted in the one down there, but I'm hoping to do that today or tomorrow. I'm hoping I can get this harvested before. Hoping it doesn't all die in the heat, because it is April already. So it'll probably be about 4 months, but looking pretty good right now. All right, it's the same day. I just finished planting this bed, the actual in-ground bed, and I actually covered it with a little more soil than I intended. I used about 1.5 of these 50-quart raised bed bags just to cover this. For this one, I used one of the bags, and then I had to grab some extra soil just from one of the beds down there, so it wasn't quite as good soil. But you can see the difference in the soil right here. It's kind of lighter than the other ones. But you can even see the progress this has made just from this morning. But yeah, I'm just gonna water everything. It's getting kind of late, and check back in a few days when this is sprouted. Day number 8, and we have some sprouting in the actual in-ground bed. Looking pretty good. Not a whole lot have sprouted yet, but some of the ones that weren't buried quite as deep are actually starting to pop up. It's been really hot today, and it's gonna be for the next couple days, like 90s. So not great weather right now, but it should cool down again afterwards. This has made good progress. You can see how much this has grown. They're actually somewhat tall. I'd say like maybe 2 inches tall, maybe 1.5. I don't know, they're growing pretty good. Yeah, it's a little later in the day right now, so you can see part of the bed is in shade. Much thicker right here than it is in other spots. I guess I didn't quite spread the seed out very evenly, but you can see it's popping up all over the bed. Another thick patch right there. Yeah, looking pretty good. Make sure it has enough water in all this heat right now. All right, another update in a couple days. Now it's day number 15, so about half a month in after planting. So this bed has made some progress. You can see that. So let's go check the in-ground bed. Also very nice progress down here. Look at that. That's nice and tall. So hopefully we're gonna be seeing some stuff happening in the next couple of months, as long as it doesn't die in the summer. All right, it's been 2 weeks since I did an update last, and this has grown really well. There's some very tall bunches now over here, and actually starting to put out some flower heads, it looks like. I'm assuming that's the wheat. Could just be this grass though. So, not sure if those flower heads are actually what I'm wanting. I would assume they're not. It seems a little early for the wheat to already be growing that much. Keep an eye on those though. But yeah, it's very tall. And it's been about a month since I first started it. Let's go take a look at the one down here. It's gotten taller. And this one I started about 5 days after the raised bed one, so it's always going to be a little bit behind. But it's grown a lot too. So I'll come back with another update in a couple weeks. All right, so another 2 weeks have passed, and you can see it's gotten much taller. I'm hoping to see some more flower heads, actually some flower heads at all for my wheat start popping up, because they're getting nice and tall and looking like more like grass. So that's, yeah, really nice. You can see there's some watering in place for those. And this one down here is growing as well. As always, it's a little bit behind, and it's more in the shade. That's looking nice too. All right, here we go. It's been another 2 weeks, and there's so many heads popping up now. You can just see them all across the bed. So I'm really happy with how this bed's doing. Yeah, look at that. So many of them. It's grown so much taller too since the last update. Not as many heads down here yet, but it'll catch up. There's also some weeds in the bed. It's kind of impossible to pull them out at this point though, because the wheat's so tall. I don't want to uproot it all, that it's doing so good. This little corner's doing really good. It's really short, but it's a lot of it's heading. So then this one, it's heading as well, and it's also very short. You can see all the heads coming out. See that? This bed's also grown taller, I think. So probably only a few more updates to go until it's time to harvest. All right, here we are again, another update. You can just see it has continued to grow taller, and there's more seed heads from the last time. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks, those are going to start ripening. It'll probably be 4 to 6 weeks or so until it's actually time to harvest. But yeah, you can see the seed heads are doing pretty good. There's so many of them. It's fun just to like get a lower view of it. All the seed heads. Yeah. I'm very excited about that. And this one down here is doing pretty good. Interesting thing I noticed is, one, there's no weeds in this bed. There's a couple down there, but none nearly as tall as the ones in the other bed. And I found out you can actually pull out the weeds, at least in the raised bed. I guess the wheat has so many roots that the weeds can't grow as many roots. So they're pretty easy to pull out without damaging the wheat. This is actually like starting to get dry. It's kind of weird. I don't think it's supposed to do that yet. But yeah, this bed is doing all right too. Looking pretty good. So we'll check back in another couple of weeks. The wheat is ripening up nicely, especially on this side. I think it's a little bit slower over here, but doing really good. Hopefully going to be harvesting in a few weeks or so. Some of this I think is diseased and stuff on the leaves, but I think it's looking pretty good. I've been noticing some weird kind of white fungusy type stuff on some of the heads right there, but it's really cool how good this is doing. Let's go check one down here. Pumpkins. So this is getting really dry right here. Like all the grasses. Huh. That's very interesting. It's greener in some spots. Yeah, this bed didn't do as well. So much shorter and smaller. But it seems to be doing okay for the most part. It's only been 3 more days and I've decided it's time to harvest this one. Like, look at it. Looks pretty good to harvest right now. And as you can see, animals have already started to take care of harvesting, and I actually want to eat some of this, so if I want to get the most out of it, it's probably a good idea to harvest now, because that's not what I want. I want there to be grain on that. So I'll give you an update once I'm done with whatever I'm doing on this. All right, so there's the harvest from the lower wheat bed, as you can see. It is much shorter than it was before. Yeah, there's gonna be a couple things I missed in here, and some of it you can see I didn't even cut down because, well, some of it was bitten already. Some of this stuff is also not really growing. It wasn't big enough yet. There's probably a few more stalks I can pick up if I wanted to. But that is what I've ended up with. All of these, I just really like to pick them up and look at them. I think this should be easier. It'll take longer, but I think it'll be easier because it's taller. It'll be easier to grab. It's a little more dense, I think. So I can grab more handfuls. Time to harvest this bed. That's what I'm doing right now. So I'll do a bit of a before and after. So this will be the before. And I'm thinking this will probably take an hour or two. Have the wheelbarrow back out. And I guess I'll do an update once I've done all of this work. Or not completed it and had to come back to it tomorrow. Real quick before I cut this down though, let's just appreciate it blowing in the wind before I chop it down, and it's just a bunch of straw sitting here in this bed. Aphids is what I've decided is the problem. Look at that. Those look like aphids to me. And I've noticed bugs crawling on the wheat that I've already harvested. These heads are so nice and full. So I'm excited to see what the yield is. And there you go, there's the after. That's how it looks. I'll snap to what all the grain looks like in that wheelbarrow, and then all of the grain that I've harvested, including from down there on the tarp. So I'm hoping to get, let's say I'd hope to get 5 pounds harvested. That'd be the minimum I would expect. So we'll see. I suppose the next step will be threshing and winnowing, and then at some point grinding in the flour. So right now I'm just doing some winnowing. I already beat this up in this sheet that I was using. I guess in a little bit I will show you all of the stuff that I've winnowed and just the final yield of all of this. The wind blows this around so much, I thought I had it in place. But yeah, so this is just what I'm doing right now. Let it blow away all the stuff I don't want.